All right, we are going to roll right into our next media availability. We are now joined by driver of the number 84 Legacy Motor Club Chevrolet, Jimmie Johnson. If you have any questions for Jimmie, raise your hand and we will get a wireless microphone sent over to you. We'll start over there with Zach and then Jenna and then up here.
Zach Sterniolo, Nascar.com. Jimmie, congratulations. I'm just curious the weight that's been lifted off of you just from getting locked in tonight as opposed to having to worry about fighting your way into this race tomorrow night.
Yeah, thank you. It is a huge relief. I came down here for my rookie season when the 48 team was just started up, and we had to get in through qualifying, and that was a very stressful moment. So I've kind of fallen back on that experience, although it was 20-something years ago now. But it was stressful, and I'm just so thankful that the team put in the effort that they did to really help me. And I'm not joking. When I was at the shop last week, the 42 team, the 43 team, were all on my car, and their cars were still sitting there with a lot of work to be done. So this was a huge collaboration and an effort that I owe to the entire shop. Todd Gordon did a fantastic job of leading these guys, but the 42 and 43 teams really played a crucial role in our car being prepared fast enough to get in today.
All right, Jenna.
Jimmie, was that weird? Like, did it feel like the Indy 500 qualifying? Like you've never, since your rookie year, really hadn't had to experience anything like that in a stock car.
Yeah, there's a different feeling knowing there's something bad can happen. You might not be in the race. Did have that sense at the 500, but once I rolled off pit lane, fortunately that went away, and that's my first time in a plate car with this new next gen car. And the experience was way different than I anticipated. The ride quality was much rougher, so I didn't know if that was supposed to happen or not. And then when I pulled it into fifth gear, which was weird to go to fifth gear, the drag of the vehicle, the RPM dropped really far, and I didn't know that was normal. So the entire lap I made around, I thought something was potentially wrong with the car. RPM was really low, it didn't feel very fast, and then once I crossed the finish line, I heard we had a good lap. So it was stressful out there, more stressful than I intended it to be.
So I was going to ask you, I was watching you on the screen with another driver, and it looked like your car was bouncing, and the other driver said, oh, he's not even going to be able to finish a lap. So you did think there was something wrong? Or,
yeah. I mean, I
and
did not expect it to bounce like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just porpoising like a Mercedes?
Yeah. Great call out. It's, the bump stops and the way you run the car now and trying to maintain a certain aero attitude, all the teams go about it in a different way. And I felt it a little bit at Phoenix with the test session I had there, but this was way different than I expected. No, it seemed to be maybe, I'm not sure it was optimal. Like, I haven't heard from the guys, but there was nothing wrong. Yeah.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. Jimmie, so I assume you did simulator time with this. Did none of that show up in the simulator?
I did. It felt silly to kind of do sim time for qualifying. We did go through it and did some reps, practice some pit road stuff. But the sim is a great tool visually, but the track content, modeling, bump stop loads, some of those really fine details are tough to get right. I'm thankful I did it, but the sim experience was different than the actual car experience.
And so when you finished your lap, did you think there's no way you're making the Daytona 500?
I did. The experience, because of the RPM and being so much lower with this rules package, I thought there was something wrong with the engine. I didn't think it was running correctly. And then I saw my name on the pylon when I came around off of turn 4, and I thought, well, much better than I thought, sitting there in fifth.
All right, let's go up here and then up to Jerry.
Jacob Seelman, 77 Sports Media and KickingTheTires.net. Jimmie, everything's different for you this year. New number, new team, new perspective, it seems like. And I'm curious what that's like. Before, it's been you, your team. When you were at Hendrick Motorsports, you just had to focus on driving the car. Now you've got a vested interest in not just your car, but 2 other cars in the field. I mean, are you finding yourself balancing the driver hat and the owner hat this week? Have you really thought about it all that much yet?
Yeah, it's been busy, and I'm still trying to find my stride. I'm still trying to understand on the the team side where I'm best used, how I can help strengthen the team. But at the same time, I've got to drive and do my job inside the car and represent my sponsors. So it is a balancing act. Really, this is the first experience at track I've had, so it is all new to me. But I'm surrounded by an amazing group of people that really have my back and know we're growing a team together. So although our workload is intense and we're maybe not as far along as we want to be, just because the announcement happened in November and there's been a lot of change through the winter, everybody's in great spirits and working hard and pulling in the same direction. I am. I mean, I have a different purpose in this experience. I mean, ultimately, I want what's best for this race team, and I'm trying to select races and tracks that really help our organization grow. Sure, I want to win. I mean, I'm getting a car. That's the standard thing. It's what I want to do. But this is more about the long game. This is more about being a part of a growing race team than it is really about that fierce competitive side that I've always operated by. I mean, it naturally turns on when I'm in the car, but I'm wearing a lot of hats at this point.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net. So in the duels, what's your strategy at this point? Is it still kind of to learn a little bit, or do you try to get racy, and how will that transfer over into the 500?
Yeah, we need to learn. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's 2 practice sessions, I think, before the 500, but it is best to get in there and try to learn. So I just need to be aware of these situations I'm putting myself in, be aware of what's going on around me, and if I don't like it, get out. But trying to find quality reps in the duel itself or the 2 practice sessions, I've got to do that. I've got so much to learn about the car. Todd has not worked on this car before. I have a new spotter, I've never worked with before. So there are a lot of elements here we need to get reps.
So it doesn't matter where you finish.
No, that part's behind us, thankfully. Yep, education.
Bruce?
Jimmie, for the past 2 seasons, you said you had to forget everything that you had learned in NASCAR because that car was so completely different. So you return to NASCAR in a car that's completely different than what you had before. So how much of that previous experience that you had in the car did you have to forget and retrain yourself with this car?
Yeah, it is different, but it still is a stock car. The weight of the vehicle, the amount of downforce it has. I think within 4 or 5 laps at Phoenix in the new driver test, I was on pace and felt back at home and had the big heavy car sliding around and moving around all the queuing that I'm so used to. So yes, it is different, but it's way more familiar than what I had in 2 years driving Indy cars.
And what you were able to do tonight, even though it was a rough ride, and you said that you didn't know whether the car was performing the way it should, did this go better than you had hoped?
I didn't know what to expect, honestly. I mean, I really didn't. To be the fastest of the non-chartered cars, to be in the middle of the pack, in the situation we're in and how late this program got off the ground, I'm really happy with where we landed. It was just about making the race, and I'm so thankful I don't have to race through the duels. So, we definitely hit our marks.
Are there any final questions for Jimmie? All right. Thank you for your time. Good
Thanks,
luck this
everybody.
weekend.